Good afternoon, everyone. So, my topic is all about To a Lost One by Angela Manalang Gloria. But before I proceed, let me ask you, who is Angela Manalang Gloria? Angela Manalang Gloria was a Filipino poet in the mid-90s. Over her career as a writer, she wrote 113 published poems, and one of those is that To a Lost One, and she was chosen as editor of the Collagen by Celedonio Gloria, to whom she would marry, and became a founding member of the UP Writers Club. Her poems often centered around love and feminism. Angela Manalang Gloria, actually, her poem is all about love and feminism. And also the death or the sacrifices in his loved ones. Marital rape, which caused her dental by an all-male jury from winning the Philippines Commonwealth Literary Awards in 1940. She was also the author of the poetry collection, Our Poems Were or the first published in 1940, and also she revised into in 1950. And here is the poem about To a Lost One by Angela Manalang Gloria. I shall hunt you, O my lost one, as the twilight hunts a grieving bumble thrill, and your dreams will linger strangely with the music of a phantom lover's tale. You shall not forget, for I am past forgetting. I shall come to you again with the starlight and the scent of wild champacas and the melody of rain. You shall not forget, thus will peer into your window, tragic-eyed and still, and unbidden startle you into remembrance, with its hand upon the sail. So, the first stanza stated or recognized that he seems that to be coming from the dead person rather than one who has been left grieving. The emotions was dominant and it was grief and lamentation. The ghost feels so much lonely from the pain of being separated to his loved one, and became, or because of that, he continually hunts the woman through appearing in her strange dreams. And the second stanza, she recognized that the ghost tells the woman not to forget him, and if even she does not, or he will remind her through the light of stars in the night, scent of wild champacas, and the melody of the falling rain. So as a dominant, the ghost definitely does not want to be forgotten by the one he loves. Then the last stanza, she recognized or she stated that the ghost has a firm belief that the woman will not forget him, and he would not definitely let it happen because he would still do everything for the woman to remember him. So it appears that the ghost could not forget the tragedy that happened. So the next is that this stanza was composed of four lines, which is the quatrain. So next is that the diction. So Angela Manalang Gloria used Philippinized English, which made the poem easy to decipher, as her choice of words and phrases is the kind which everyone could relate. The author shares her experience to the readers as to how it feels to be left and hunted by a ghost of a person you love. Next is the tone or mode. Without reading the entire poem, everyone would conclude that the author is the one directly speaking to a subject who has already passed away. But it's ironic that the ghost is actually the one speaking to the one he had left. And also a kind of experience that was shared for their literary piece is that the feeling of being haunted by the memory of your loved ones and telling you not to forget him throughout your existence. Next is the theme about the poetry. The poem To a Lost One for me is a poem all about death. The one who died expresses his sadness for being separated from his loved one. This grief tends to affect the person who was loved. Next is the structure. The poem is composed of three quatrains using the rhyme scheme A B C B D E F E G H I H, in which the second and last line of the quatrain rhyme which or with each other. The author often uses the literary techniques enjambment, in which the sense of a line runs over the succeeding line. Next is the imagery and the symbolism. So before I proceed, I will explain what is the differentiate between denotation and connotations. But denotation is more on literal or literal in meaning, while the connotation is they use emotional but not literal in meaning. So here is the imagery and the symbolism. The words, the twilight. So the denotation is that the time after sunset. Then the connotation is feeling of being hunted. Next is the words dusk. The denotation is that time after the day and the before night. Then the connotation is the darkness, the loneliness, and the gloom. Then the third one is the rain. Then the denotation there is shower from the sky. And the connotation is tears, crying, and grief. Then last one is the champakas. So the denotation there is the flowers used in funeral. Then the connotation is spirit of the dead. Next is the figure of speech. The lines used simile as a figurative language. The way the ghost hands the author is compared to a twilight which hands a bamboo trill. Then the personification is also used as a twilight hands and the bamboo trill grieves. Lastly, the apostrophe is also applied to the calling of a lost one. Next is the repetition. You shall not forget, for I am past forgetting. I shall come to you again. Then you shall not forget, thus will peer into your window, and tragic eye and still. There is a repetition there which is the you shall not forget. That's why it called repetition. Lastly, I am going to summary about To a Lost One. So Angela Manalang Gloria composed a poem which tells and describes the feeling of being hunted. To create such effect in the point of view of the poem, she made the ghost as the persona instead of herself. So this poem merely conveys the true emotions of ghosts which feel the pain and loneliness of being separated to his beloved. Moreover, it is also dominant in the poem that the dead does not want to be forgotten and he would do everything just to make them remembered by their existing loved ones. Di ba ang sakit? Di ba ang sakit mawala ang pinakamamahal natin? So thank you for listening and God bless us all. So I have my additional, which my question is, what is the purpose of this poetry about by Angela Manalang Gloria? Because the poem about the lost one, she conveyed that this poem really conveys the true emotion of ghosts which feel the pain and loneliness of being separated to his loved ones. So moreover, he also dominant for this poem, and that was he would do everything just to make them remembered by their loved ones. And that would be all. Thank you for listening, and I hope you can gain more knowledge about my report, which is the poetry about To a Lost One by Angela Manalang Gloria. By the way, I am Dexter Tinampay for your reporter for this afternoon. Thank you and have a God bless.